Well, that was easy. Oh, HMK. Long time no see. So, you're up for a Zelda Wii U collaboration?
Let's do it.
So Zelda Wii U should revolutionize and change all aspects of the Zelda franchise, right?
No.
Something has to carry over from previous games, and that is why combining elements from past titles is the first entry on this list.
However, the problem with recent Zelda games is that some great improvements from the past entries are not carried over to the next installment. These can be massive overhauls or small tweaks that can just make the game experience more fluent and less monotony.
Seriously, Nintendo, as a conservative I can understand that you want to change things to preserve, but do it rather with unnecessary elements that drag down the game experience instead of taking away things that enhance them. Seriously, do not commit this mistake with Zelda Wii U.
At last year's Game Awards, a little familiar green meter appeared in the upper left corner of the screen. Could this have been stamina? Or perhaps something new? This is obviously a hint of the grand return of the magic meter that has been absent from the series for well over 13 years. That is why the next improvement for Zelda Wii U is to take the full advantage of this element.
Since the removal of this crucial aspect in Twilight Princess, Zelda has lost some of the magic found in its golden age. With its return in Zelda Wii U, Nintendo should make a clear statement why magic matters by making it a central gameplay feature in the game.
There's no hiding of it. Zelda games that have magic are kinda better than the ones that don't have it. And that's why Nintendo EAD3 should just go for it and let us be baffled by the craziness they can come up with this tool in their hands.
Do you know what annoys me in Zelda? NPCs that ruins the immersion of the game. Those downright terrible brainless characters that just stand there the whole day and do nothing. Zelda Wii U not only should, but must bring more interactive NPCs with specific day and time activities.
Actually, they don't have to look further back than the recent remake of Majora's Mask, where every single character in the game has their own schedule based on day and time activities. If Nintendo could pull back this marvel out of 1 year back in 2000, then 16 years later, then there should be no problem to implement a day and time schedule for the NPCs of Zelda Wii U.
Apart from Clock Town in Majora's Mask, the Zelda towns of the past have not aged gracefully. That is why we need proper and interactive villages and towns and at least one extensive city in Zelda Wii U.
That's more like it. It's hard to admit, but The Witcher 3's Novigrad obliterated all other Zelda towns up until this point by being an actual medieval city with memorable characters, vast districts divided by social and racial classes, and hundreds of accessible buildings, and the fact that this town was a character of its own, something that only the Majora's Mask Clock Town was able to rival. One successful implementation in Skyward Sword was crafting. Zelda Wii U should simply expand this feature, and from what we've seen in the recent Nintendo Direct, it might become a reality in Zelda Wii U, with upgradable shields, bows, items, pouches, and even swords and tunics. With the end of the linear approach in Zelda Wii U, we should expect a deeper and more sophisticated crafting system and a variety of weapons and many more blacksmiths and crafting stations compared to that of Skyward Sword.
One of the most crucial elements in the Zelda game is how the game plays. This is a touchy subject after the two last 3D Zelda installments, heavily emphasized on motion controls and a locked, non-controllable camera until 2011. That is why improved controls must be on this list. In reality, Zelda Wii U needs to pull off 3 strings: camera controls, combat controls and gyroscope/motion controls.
With the exception of Wind Waker and arguably Twilight Princess on the GameCube, clunky and locked camera controls were probably the weakest links of 3D Zelda games. This seriously needs to change in Zelda Wii U, as the console has two analog sticks, one for moving the character and one for moving the camera. Then we have combat. The Z-targeting system should return, but the combat system should be refined with more animations, combos, and techniques.
So you leave the motion controls to me. I'll be diplomatic. Just do it like in Wind Waker HD.
A perfect compromise between the fully motion control based Skyward Sword and the traditional button controls found in other Zelda games. Let the main controls be tied to the buttons, but include the option for gyroscope controls for certain items.
You know what I hate about recent console Zelda games? The tutorials. I mean, they treat you like an idiot and are too damn long! And with Zelda Wii U seeking back to its proud roots of freedom and player exploration, why not take the quick start found there as an example to say no to the bullshit such as forced and repetitive opening tutorial acts?
Seriously, leave the controls tutorial in the game manual or as a separate mode in the main menu of the game.
This will be a good solution for both veterans who will not have to endure through several hours of boredom.
All we need, Nintendo, is a short introduction cutscene, just a few minutes, and then we're straight out into exploring. Seriously, Nintendo, just do it! Do it! Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
Dungeon bosses in Zelda games are way too easy, and the weak points are too obvious. Skyward Sword marked a step up away from the generic and downright insulting boss battles in Twilight Princess, but there's still a long way to go.
Now we're talking! With non-chronological dungeon progression, Nintendo should realize one thing: you don't have to dumb down the bosses for us. For crying out loud, they're supposed to be a challenge, not a walk in the park.
Nintendo, this is your chance to prove why Zelda has the most badass and memorable bosses. Let them be intelligent, adapt to your attack pattern, forcing you as the player to think and search for that little gap that you can pierce your sword through. That will be a boss fight to remember.
Hey Commonwealth Realm, what do you think of when I say quality side quests?
That's simple. Majora's Mask and the Andrew and Cafe side quest.
Exactly. With the hinted emphasis by Miyamoto on side quests in Zelda Wii U, they just have to take notes from Majora's Mask 3D and make the side quests in this game as deep, engaging, emotional, and memorable as possible.
That would be a dream come true. Just imagine the possibilities this could mark for the character development throughout the massive world over time. One side quest could begin in Castletown and end at the complete opposite side of the map and have a lasting impact on the world.
That's what we need. Quality side quests that stay with you long after you completed it.
So what is the most important mission of this game? Better dungeons? Boss battles? Maybe characters?
No, Zelda Wii U is all about the overworld, and it shows when you see how much effort is being put into Hyrule. Since one of the biggest flaws in 3D Zelda games have been how empty, unconnected and lifeless the overworlds have been.
Zelda Wii U has far superior hardware to its predecessors. It holds so much potential for not only a massive, but also filled to the brim with content, enemies and NPCs world. But most importantly, it should break the bad habit of leaving the overworld barren after you complete a main quest. Zelda Wii U needs a completion gate that will open up new content in the moment when the main quest and side quests have been drained out.
Those are my top 10 improvements for Zelda Wii U, and now I want to see yours. Leave your list in the comment section below, and if you think something more was missing from my list, then you're right, and you should head directly over to the King of Hype, HMK, for the second part of this Black Friday collaboration.
That's right, and don't forget to like, share, favorite, and all that good jazz. And most importantly, subscribe to our channels and head over to the hype that is the channel of HMK for more.
See you there.